Hi, everyone. Welcome. It's the beginning of the week. It's cloudy and cold here, and I can't see the sky up at all. It's inexistent. There's no sun. There's an overall white, blinding light over the whole sky, darkness amongst that, gray and white clouds, thick clouds, low barometric system. And this has been like this for a couple of days. Of course, here we're getting into some cold temperatures, but yeah, the landing, the moon landing, I wonder every day, did they really land on the moon? And if they did, this is just my belief, as all people are allowed their own opinions. I'm just giving mine. Because a lot of things come into factor when you look at the fact that Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin would have landed on the moon. Uh, there's a very rare interview with Alex Malley of CPA Australia that Armstrong permitted him to have an interview, culminating in the 1969 landing with crewmate Buzz Aldrin and the lunar plane they called Tranquility Base. This is what the subject was asking Neil Armstrong. But of course, they say again in an interview that he refers to the questions a lot. He was trying to defer, trying to push away from most of the questions. And the questions that he was asked many years ago, he has the same answers many years afterwards. Of course, they say he answered once, he's going to answer the same thing again. Okay, benefit of the doubt. But, he looks very nervous. We see every interview, the rare ones with him, he looks very nervous. And he's talking, Neil Armstrong, to Alex Malley about the landing and the problems, how everything was just really rushed. Neil Armstrong said that I should say I thought we had 90% chance of getting back to Earth on that flight. Okay, Armstrong said in this rare interview, but only a 50-50 chance of making a successful landing on the first attempt. So he continues on about talking about other complications. Um, the landing was so complicated that the lunar landing ship Eagle was so low on fuel that Armstrong touched down less than 30 seconds before mission control would have told them to give up and try to come back home. Eagle's computer was overloaded with data as it tried to steer the ship to the surface. Many people don't know this story, and it's interesting to hear about it, whether it's true or not. It's still the story that's out there, and I want to hear it. Was trying to put them down in a crater, apparently. The computer was trying to put them down in a crater full of boulders. Neil Armstrong mentioned that the rocks were the size of cars. It's what we see. It's what we see in my footage, that the surface is an overall very rocky, jumbled area on the entire moon, that is. Hey, thanks for the comments, guys, too. I'm getting a lot of great questions. And someone asked me, are you able to zoom up on a flag? And do I think I'd be able to zoom up on the flag? Let me tell you one thing, guys. The castle-like objects, gigantic, that I'm seeing and showing you that are at times blurry, just a stupendous view. It's magnificent to be able to view these structures. It's like we're not permitted to view them, but when we view them, we tend to think that they're not real or they're fake or that they're models. They are not. But I do believe that the flag on the surface of the moon would not be seen, since I'm getting a castle-like object that was as big as a small, tiny spot. So if the castle is as big as a spot, the flag would be a speck on the spot. One person in the comments said the aliens would waste any astronaut going up to space. Well, I'll tell you what, the ways that they are traveling around in asteroid-shaped crafts, for Pete's sakes, and hiding structures on the moon, making them look like natural ejecta or lava. I think that if they were to attack, and they probably already have, any space craft of NASA's, or during any of their secret missions or televised missions, they would be able to, and I'm speaking about an alien species if they exist, they would most definitely be able to completely immobilize any craft of ours without us seeing any lasers or what looks like an attack to a craft. They have many ways, they know everything about wavelengths, everything possible about magnetism, and they do not have to cause a scene to destroy something that's causing them havoc. I believe also that being an engineer, Neil Armstrong was asked to go to the moon to find out if it would be possible to build on the lunar surface. Then Neil Armstrong would be able to bring back that information, and then they would be able to look elsewhere without necessarily depending on Neil to build structures for them. So, they can go get information by people having them work for them, like Neil Armstrong, and then after their job is done, they wash their hands of having to do with anything of a secret nature. And this is what I believe has been going on for many, many years. The association remains the same, the people don't. Then we would need other Apollo landings to be able to continue the mission. For example, building trenches to find out if a solid pillar would maintain straight, erect, and standing in the soil, lunar soil, right? We know that an Apollo landing depended on the work of certain astronauts to dig a trench. Why was that trench dug? The information's out there. I know for a fact, I saw an astronaut saying it himself that he was up there to dig a trench. Then they observed the Earth, the lunar Earth, to see how it would settle over a period of many years, probably. These tests went on, guys, and they're all hidden here and there, but many stories are talking about them, and many even high authoritative people are mentioning this. But of course, many years after their terms are done. I've watched all of the landings, the Apollo landings, in great detail from what's on there. And at times, one of the landings, a recent one actually, even looks like a cartoon as you see the orbiter flying through space. Analyze these videos, guys. You're analyzing my videos thinking they're fake. Well, I don't think mine are fake, but if you guys are thinking that fake videos exist, hello, look at the moon landings. Go look at them and analyze them. I've seen an astronaut on the moon. Did you know, by the way, it was 29 degrees Celsius when they landed? Confirmed. NASA told me. And another thing, why did they drop a paper or a photo that was in their hands? It fell to the moon's surface like a rock. Saw a list of wonderful people, the website contributors. Thanks to them, 14-inch telescope is on its way. Seems like I've been saying it for years, eh? Well, I'm just as anxious as you guys are. So I'm off to work. I was able to get a video up. Check out WSO YouTube channel tonight. Steve Olson and I are going to be talking about the moon. If my cold permits me to.